Okay.
All
signs are pointing up. Yep, we're good. All right. Let's do it.
Sure.
It starts in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, that student is weird.
Sweet, sweet meth.
Oh, yeah. Want to take a car shower?
Vegas and their cow noises.
Taking pictures and taking peas.
Talking Tom's Tech Time and Recomentals and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
This is America in the second half of the 20th century, and Jeanette is a slave. Not a slave by circumstance of birth or force, but by choice. A choice she made herself not so very long ago. A choice that at the time probably seemed no bigger than, should I belong or shouldn't I?
A hospital bed isn't anywhere near as nice as your bed at home.
The Morning Stream, 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 the Morning Stream.
I am the Führer of the beach. This is the Morning Stream.
The Morning Stream, the Morning Stream, the Morning Stream.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Morning Stream, this dumb little morning show we do every day on Monday through Thursday with me, Scott Johnson, him, Brian Ibbett. It's not dumb. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Of course it's good. It's good, and it's better than your bed, or your hospital bed, really.
That's
if you
true. Yeah.
really want to lay all the things out on the table.
I found these amazing, this amazing collection of educational films that were all directed by the same dude and his little production company back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The guy went and did it for like 3 decades. And they're all amazing. They're just amazing. There's one where it's a safety video about a kid who crawls out on the cliff because his friends don't want to go with him because they don't want to be unsafe, but he decides to be unsafe. So he goes up on this cliff by this road and then falls, and it's the most obvious dummy just rolling down the hill like there's no way it's a person. Yeah. It's just like this floppy doll going down the hill, and at the bottom it's a kid again.
I mean, they're just doing a literal version of the if your friends all jumped off a cliff, would you do it too?
Right, that's exactly what's happening. And I'm recording audio from all this stuff, and I've got some choice ones. They're really good. So I hope people enjoy them right here on the Morning Stream. All right, we got stuff to talk about. It's Wednesday. We got all sorts of business to dig into. I wanted to report real quick on how things went at the university yesterday. I went and spoke there. I didn't really teach, but I guess it's kind of teaching. I don't know what you'd call it. But I went there and sat in front of a classroom of 100 and something kids. And I say kids, I mean, they're 20 to 23.
The future of America.
The future of America. Well, at least the future of video games in America, probably, because they're all there for this video game program. They're in design, and some of them are artists, some are developers, some are coders. It's like the whole gambit in there. And the goal of this was to give them a taste. They do these seminars, and they do it in this old law building. So it's pretty rad because the space we're in is where they built it to hold mock trials back when it was the law school. And so I'm sitting in this place like there is a judge's thing up top. We didn't sit up there, but we're sitting in like kind of where the stenographer would be and like where one maybe
the witness.
Like the witness stand is kind of right where I was sitting. It was really cool. Anyway, so we sat in there kind of between two ferns style is how it went. And I would field these questions, and I periscoped the audio from it. The video was just looking at the floor because I didn't want to be conspicuous. But so you can hear this whole thing if you want. But basically the idea was like, hey, what if I don't want to make video games, but I want to do something around video games? And that's where I came in. Let's talk about podcasts and streaming and video and YouTube and all this. So we did all this, and it was great. One kid though, I got to call this kid out.
All right.
Raises his hand. His name's Alex or Jeff or something. I don't remember.
He has a name. Okay.
Yeah, raises his hand.
That's
right. Yeah, he has a name. That's good.
We've established that.
Yeah, he's not anonymous, which is always good. So he raises his hand and says, yeah, I have 2 questions. Well, I go, okay, that sounds great. And Corinne, who's moderating, says, oh, boy. And I went, what? And she goes, yeah, okay, go ahead. It's like she knew this guy was going to,
oh, no.
He speaks up in class and maybe disrupts things or something. So he says, and if you guys heard it, you heard it live, but he says, do you think I could become a Twitch sensation if I played a game of 39, or how did he put it? 39 bullet Russian roulette or something like that. And what he was talking about is not a video game, but holding a gun to his head and saying, click, click, okay, click, click, click. Oh, finally get a button. And I said, no, they would just send the cops to your house and ban your account and like it went all the things that happened. I go, this is a terrible idea. And he seemed to be asking it semi-sincerely, like, what big stunt could I do to try to capture the thing?
Right.
And I was sort of annoyed, but it also hit me. They are all faced with, if they want to actually do some of this stuff, they're faced with a real problem because everybody wants to be Ninja. Okay, I know y'all want to be him on Twitch, or y'all want to be PewDiePie on YouTube in terms of numbers.
or whatever.
Sure, all these names and people, but that's the point. They're kind of already there, and there's not a lot of room to be multiples of those. And so right now, getting in is like getting into the NBA. You can be pretty good in your backyard hoop, but your chances of getting to the NBA are ridiculously small. But they all want to aim for that level, right? They want to go for ninja level, and I understand it, but you got to temper your expectations and get realistic. And this guy figured the best way to do it was to play actual gun-loaded roulette on stream. Yeah, good idea, right? Great idea.
What was it? Well, just out of curiosity, what was the second question?
I'm trying to remember now. It may have been, what was my favorite? I don't remember what he followed up with. It was, maybe we didn't let him. Maybe that question was so silly we didn't get it. I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and listen.
What was the one he was saving for second, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If that was his first question.
Well, ironically, too, Brian, this is pretty funny. The whole time, that kid's hand would come up a lot, and Corinne just was not calling on him. Like, she knew.
It'd be like, anybody else?
Yeah.
Who else has a question?
And I asked Carter about it later, and she says, yeah, he kind of does this at everything we do. It's just sort of his thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was in the audience.
So it sounds like it might be his thing. I mean, that is the... I guess if you do want to be the next Twitch/YouTube sensation and doing things the way Ninja does it, doing things the way Markiplier or Toast, Disguised Toast do it, is already done. It's already being done. You've got to figure out what your different method of approach is.
Yeah, how are you going to get up there, right?
And I don't know if the joking about Russian roulette or even the semi-serious suggestion of Russian roulette is the what's going to set you apart from the others.
Probably not. It may put you in a coffin, but you ain't streaming in there.
That's right.
So
it may put you on the Casey Neistat path, or the no, not that. What's the other guy?
Yeah,
the guy who did the Japanese suicide forest video.
Oh, the one that was in Japan and they got in all trouble for it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, him.
Aaron Paul. No, not Aaron. Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. That's it. Yep, exactly.
Not Aaron Paul.
I mean, that's we already have a guy who does that stuff. Okay, well, I guess you need something else.
Yeah. I mean, I get the desire to be unique. And for the record, 99% of the questions asked at this thing were really good questions. They were great. Smart kids, all have these great career plans. It was an honor to be there, and they were great, and they would laugh at my dumb jokes, and that made me happy. And they also, I was curious if any of them had heard of any of the stuff I do. People had heard of the instance, but not many of them are WoW players. There's a young generation who just aren't interested in World of Warcraft.
Sure. Overwatch probably up the wazoo.
Lots of Overwatch, lots of Fortnite, lots of that kind of stuff. And I said, well, and so we threw up on the thing all the shows we're doing. And the one that people had heard and made them bark out from the audience was, of all things, There Will Be Dungeons, the D&D thing.
Oh, really?
And I mentioned, we talked about Critical Role and how they've really brought that stuff to the mainstream and all this other stuff, and they lost their minds. I think this live D&D stuff is legit huge with a younger generation, more than I thought it would be. I figured it was our stuff, dude. I figured we were the nerds with the D&D.
Which is interesting because watching somebody else play D&D is only maybe about 1/10 as fun as going and playing D&D yourself.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, those shows do really, really well, and I think it is the personalities. I mean, you've got to have folks like you and John and Bo and Steven Schleicher and the folks over there at Major Spoilers or whatever it is. It's got to be good personalities. It's got to be entertaining.
Yeah, you got to have fun. You got to laugh. You got to throw people a loop. I mean, it's got to be a good time. And I mean, the guys at Critical Role, they've got I've been friends with Liam for years, and before all of this happened, they were already doing this in Matt Mercer's basement and not telling anyone about it. Now you've got this stable of extremely talented voice actors with a budget and good filming and a huge following. Like, it's a genuine hit. Like, that thing is a monster hit. And it's interesting to see that. And a bunch of kids came up to me after me and said, "Hi, my name is Philip, and I was just wondering, do you think could I DM my own thing and stream it?" And I said, "Yeah, of course you could. You should go home and do it right now. Go write your campaign. Get your friends in there. Go do a campaign. It's a blast." And he says, "Is it hard to DM?" I said, "I don't know. I don't do it. I don't DM. I'm not the DM." So anyway, it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, the goal should always be to entertain, not to get fame. That was how you and I both started. It's like we didn't say, "Oh, we're going to do this and we're going to have the hundreds of thousands of people watching us and blah 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 blah." No, we said, "Hey, we want to do a show that entertains people."
Yeah,
and that is 100% the goal you should have.
And we talked about that at the thing. I said, if you guys are chasing fame, the kind of fame that top YouTubers and some of those people get, I want you to just reassess what you really want in life. Like, you need the important stuff too. You need relationships. You need strong, friendships and family, and all this other stuff matters more. Then that other stuff is just gravy on the plate. Like, you can really get into it.
It happens.
If it happens, it happens. And if you're good, it'll rise to the top, or it'll rise to some place where you can find your niche, right? Like, there's a place there for you if you work on it, you work hard at it, and you're good at it, and that's it. So it was really cool. It was a fun deal.
It's very cool.
I had a good time, and would do it again. So congratulations, future of America. You guys impressed me. Most of you. A couple of you were a little weird. And one guy shook my hand, this kid, I can't remember his name, but he shook my hand after. He looked dry as a bone. I saw him come up to me. He just looked like a dry person. His hand is like a sponge that's been soaking in the sink. I've never shook a sweatier hand in my life. I didn't know what to do with it. I shook it and went, "Oh, I'm holding this is the wettest hand."
Did you say that? Did you actually?
No, I just felt like saying something. It threw me off, and he was saying, "What do you think of this trend of microtransactions?" He's like going into all this business stuff about video games, and he's not letting go. And all I can think about is, "This is the wettest hand I've ever held." It was fine. I went and wet napped it later, and I got some good nachos yesterday. So,
did you? Where'd you get them? At the law school cafeteria?
No. So they have so it's so funny because the entire games division, this whole EAE gaming department, is super awesome. By the way, I didn't know it was this cool. You go in there, and it's just this huge building just filled with artists and animators and people making video games, and Carter's stuff's everywhere because she makes all the posters and everything in there. So it's just like this rad. I would kill for this job or for this life. If they had existed then, I would be going. I'd have done this department. I would have done this thing. It just didn't exist when we were 20.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. But it used to be the big law school at the university, which now has its own brand new building. And so these guys took over this old law building, and it is so cool. Like, just ancient, probably built in the 60s, like old stuff everywhere. It's great. And they've been able to create kind of a cool combo of cool and cutting edge mixed with this sort of vintage, and it was awesome. It made me want to go up there all the time. So anyway, that's a good idea, Alien Pickle. If you're going to meet me, soak your hand in Vaseline for 3 days beforehand. That's how you do it. So it's a good idea. Carter does say sometimes Carter and Karim are saying sometimes really old dudes who went to law school there will come in just to find an old book or reference, because they used to have this giant library in the basement.
Yeah.
And they'll just wander in like 80 years old. Hold on now, what is this? This is
Looking for
I went to school
the state
here.
of Mississippi versus Leonard Pikachu.
Yeah, Leonard Pikachu lost that case, and all I see around here are video games. Like, it's just, they don't understand. They don't understand what's happened to their beloved institution.
Like, what's happened to the library?
It's all Genesis cartridges now. And they have a lot of cool vintage stuff. They have an old Pong machine signed by Nolan Bushnell. Nolan Bushnell went to the U, so he's got a lot invested there. I've got a sit down. I have a cocktail version of a Pac-Man that my dad used to have in arcades. That's completely broken down. It doesn't work at all. And I've just been holding on to it for like, nostalgia's sake. Like, I don't want to get rid of it.
Sentimental reasons, yeah.
And Kim's like, can we please get rid of that thing? It's like the worst piece of furniture. And she's right, but it's been hard for me to get rid of. But now that I've seen this place, I'm going to donate it. They've got like a whole like curated historical game area where they've got every console ever under glass with descriptions and history, and it's really cool. But what they're doing up there is rad. If you're looking for like a games degree, the University of Utah's got it going on, man. Anyway,
very cool.
That was fun. I enjoyed it. Let's do Battle Royale. And I got the calls. I got calls working yesterday, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, yesterday is one thing. Getting them working today is a whole different ball of wax, Scott.
That is a very good point. But I feel good about our chances. And the big trick is Brian around, because he was very busy yesterday and the day before. So I don't know if he's...
I know, too busy for Boop.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. Some family stuff came up. And Boo, I hear his voice, though. That's exciting. All right, it's going to work this time. 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462 is the number.
It's not going to work.
It better
work.
Not gonna work. It better freaking work. I worked really hard yesterday and tested this with multiple people, and it seemed to be fine. So I think we're good.
Many people.
Many people.
With very good people.
The best people.
The best people.
The best people, exactly. On the line with us right now. Oh, that's weird. Hold on, my thing. No, it's not the call. The calls are fine. Calls are fine. Okay, cancel that one.
Call me back later. I'm just kidding.
Let's see if this works. Brian Dunaway's on the line, and soon here we'll have a caller on the line. Give it one more second. Okay, there we go. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
This is Rob from Southern California. How you doing, Scott? Brian?
Hello, Rob from Southern California. What part of Southern California and what city are you in?
Ventura.
Oh, okay, Ventura. There you go. I don't know why that matters. It doesn't really, but I just thought it'd be good to say. Hey, it's good to have you here. Yeah.
I actually saw Brian in Simi Valley about 4 or 5 years ago and got too scared to go up and say hi to him.
Oh, when was this?
I totally remember that, yes.
Yeah, and you got too scared to say hi to him? You should never be scared of us. We're cool. I mean, I know. I don't mean cool in like a...
You emailed me afterwards, though, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why didn't you say...
Yeah, you were totally cool about it online. I don't know. I got starstruck.
Well, look, he's an intimidating bald man, so I understand completely what's going on there. Well, Rob, we're glad to have you here. We're glad to have you participating, and also obviously good to have you here, Brian Dunaway. Hope you had a good, nice couple of days. Everything good on the home front? I know there's some crazy stuff Monday. Everything good? Y'all good?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
All right.
You don't want to hear my boring life story.
Well, we don't, but we always, we have friend concern. That's all. We
good.
We're all friends here.
I'm good.
Brian Ibbett, will you explain to Rob what he could win and how he could win it?
I will. Hey, Rob, is your first initial of your last name the letter U?
No, it is not.
Okay, very good. Good. Then we can use this one, because this Battle Royale came from a Rob, and I want to make sure it's not the same Rob.
That would have been great.
Oh,
that would have been great. Yeah. I guess it wouldn't matter, because you submit it, you can be the contestant, right?
Sure, why not?
Doesn't have.
This is a new twist. We'll start making them ask the questions.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, here's how it works for now.
Okay.
I'm going to give Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. My job is to say this as quickly as possible every single time. Your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for the aforementioned robot. This thing, we just want to give it away. We want to give it to you, Rob. We want you to win this thing.
Whoa.
It is rad. It is the coolest robot ever, and it will fit in your pocket, and you can bring this out at family events and occasions and have it run around the Thanksgiving table or the Christmas table, pushing everybody's drinks off. That's what better thing could you ask for than that?
Yeah.
To that,
Sounds good.
Are we talking about politics? Here, let me bring my robot out.
Exactly. To that, we are adding the Batman Arkham Origins game that we added on Monday, and Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, also available on Steam, courtesy of William Hill. Big thanks to Jim's Fridge, at Jim's Fridge on Twitter, Jim Wright, and William Hill for these prizes.
Very nice.
They're super cool.
Yeah, especially that fighting game's really good, by the way. That Injustice one is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, if you ever wanted to be your favorite DC character and beat the crap out of other DC characters, that is the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I almost bought that last night, so you better not let me down.
Sweet.
Oh, wow. Well, you better not let you down because it all comes down to you.
Yeah.
Real quick note, we've got a lot of Battle Royale topics. That stack of papers right there,
Yeah.
like that's all Battle Royale topics that I need to get to, and there are more coming in every day. So we have backlog. We will get to yours, but be patient, and we will get to them.
All right.
This one comes to us from Rob Usden, who is not the Rob that's on the phone. These are the 10 highest earning video game publishers in fiscal year 2018. So far this year, these are the highest earning video game publishers, video game companies this year.
Okay.
This year.
Companies this year. They're not talking about just platforms. It could be publishers. It could be developers. It could be whoever, right?
Exactly. Developers, publishers, and producers.
I know who it definitely isn't this year, so hopefully I'll get this
Very
right.
good.
Okay.
That's the topic. While they start thinking about their answers, Rob, who do you think is going to win?
I think Scott's going to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, good bet. Good bet.
Who should start?
And who do you want to go first?
Brian.
Brian should start.
Brian's going to start. Okay.
All right. Okay, Brian.
All right. Brian
Okay.
Dunaway, your first answer,
Yes.
please.
I'm thinking that every time I give my money, it's always to Sony.
To Sony. Number one on the list,
Ooh.
yeah, $16.5 billion. And that's just games. That's games only from Sony.
Okay. I'm going to throw down Epic Games. Epic Games.
Epic Games.
Should have been number 2 or 1.
Wait, Scott, try something more safe.
They have to be on there. They made billions of dollars this year. They have to be on there.
I want to pull up the original list because I want to see where they're at. Because they're not in the top 10.
Kidding me?
They have to be in the top 10.
Are you kidding me?
I guarantee you
cannot
that.
be right.
Yeah,
I am with Scott.
Yeah, I guarantee you that list is
crazy.
wrong. Epic Games
Will there
made
be another name they're under because they are.
Try the name Microsoft. Is it under?
No, it's the maker. The guys that made Fortnite are hand over fist making money in the billions of dollars. There's no way they're not on that list.
it's the biggest money maker, right?
Yes.
They are not on the list.
That can't be.
They're
What
not
are
in
they
the
doing?
top 10.
What are they
They're
doing
not
with their money?
They're not in the top 10.
Hold on.
I'm looking to see if there is like a report of how much. Well, let's see if there's a report on how much Epic made. Oh.
Yeah, $8.5 billion this
so
year.
Papa Big Pants says that Tencent is Epic's parent company.
Oh, so
Okay.
Tencent.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to say 10 cents, Scott?
I guess
Would you like to change your answer?
Because that list sucks. If they're not in there in some category, and they're also not their parent company, they're just their chief. They have a big stake, but they don't own them outright. So it's not 100% Tencent anyway.
It's a tax shelter. You know it.
Here,
You
look
know
at this.
it.
Look at this real
Tencent.
quick. Epic Games, which is valued around $825 million at the time of Tencent's acquisition, was estimated to be worth $4.5 billion in July due to Battle Royale, and expected to surpass $8 billion by the end of 2018. There's no way they're not on this list.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, 10-cent games, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, and here we go. And they are Tencent because Tencent plans to grow its PC gaming presence by promoting esports tournaments and introducing blockbuster titles such as PUBG and Fortnite. Also by blah 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 Subnautica. Tencent is number 6 on the list.
All right. I
All
think
your
that
Epic money is actually going to Tencent.
that has to
So
count
not-
because that's mostly Fortnite.
Absolutely. It absolutely counts. They are 4.4 billion revenue in fiscal 2018.
Yeah. And by the way, they only own like 40% of Epic. So I don't know why that doesn't just list Epic. That's weird to me, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
This list, by the way, came from let's see. I mean, they cite reports of all of these, like the annual reports of all these publishers, and link to them in this article. So I feel like I trust the veracity of this list.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. I mean, in the month of April alone, back in April, 300 million that month alone. Like there's no way they're not on this list.
Well, the lowest one on the top 10 list is 1.79 billion.
Yeah.
So, but that's for the whole year, not just for 1 month.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we'll
just
see.
talking about a
We'll see
month. These guys made they've made billions of dollars in 2018.
Is it my turn?
I had a good month.
it my-
I had a good month last year too,
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah, we all had a
The
good
rest of my year
month.
sucked, but I had a good month.
Yeah, I wish I had a
It's
month
your
like
turn,
them.
Brian.
Go ahead,
Is it
Dunaway.
my turn? Is it my turn?
Yes.
I want to stick it to Scott for not going with his buddy Activision
Yes.
Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard, number 4 on the list with a revenue of $7.2 billion.
Not the best year, by the way.
Here's a good point. Somebody
So if I
brings up-
had said Blizzard, would I still have gotten?
Yeah, you would
it?
still gotten it. Gotten it.
Yeah.
And the article does say publishers, so maybe Epic is considered a developer.
Oh, they totally are. I thought it was anything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Publishers only.
Oh.
Publishers.
All right. Well, that's
Not
why I
developers.
asked at the top of the thing. Could these be
I
developers?
know you
yeah,
did,
yeah.
and I mistakenly some of these are publishers,
All
and
right.
I think that's why I'm sorry, developers, and that's why I think I.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So yes, so Activision number 4. By the way, that's not a great. They don't love being there. They've been higher in previous years. This has been a bad year for Activision.
Hey, I'd like to be number 4 on this list. I'd be
Yeah,
fine
I
with
wouldn't
that.
mind. I wouldn't mind. That'd be all right. All right. Well, now we're making gas here. Let's see. It's not a phrase, is it? Now we're making gas.
Gaslighting. What?
The chat room points out Epic is a publisher too, but they're weird.
Yeah.
Admittedly, they're weird. We'll go with the 10-cent thing. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a scary one. Well, I'll just say Nintendo.
You
There
should
you go.
say that. Say
Yeah,
that.
Nintendo.
Number 3 with $9.9 billion. If you wouldn't have said it, Dunaway would have. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
number 3 on the list, Nintendo.
Well, you can't say Nintendo if you can't say Sony and Nintendo if you can't say Microsoft because they got to be up there all together.
Oh, got to be in the big 3. Number 2 on the list, $10.4 billion just in the games division only. So obviously not counting non-gaming software, computers, blah blah blah, Surface Pros.
I have a very big question about the publisher status of an answer I want to give, but I'm afraid to give it because publisher.
Yeah, publishers.
Because they are publishers, but they don't make games anymore.
Let's see.
Really?
I'm going to see if there's any list ranks publishers based on their total revenue, where appropriate revenue from the gaming segment alone is cited rather than revenue as a whole. Only publicly listed companies that share financial reports are included. Because
All right.
obviously you wouldn't be able to get data from somebody else.
I'll say Electronic Arts, even though I know they're kind of sucking it right now.
All right, say that.
I don't think they're. Since they don't, I wouldn't count those fellers out. They always got their hands in something.
Yeah.
Not only on the list, number 5 on the list with a revenue of $5.2 billion. So
Them sporty games they put out, man.
they do
Yeah.
pretty well, yeah.
I mean, they don't love the position they're in, but again, it's all relative. Like, I'd love to be in that position, but
Exactly.
they're used to being in the top 3, but they haven't been
And
for
it's
years.
it's great. So far, you guys have named the top 6, so you've just got the bottom 4 and the top 10 to deal with, and this is where the gravy. This is where the gravy meets the road, as Scott would like to say.
I would probably say that, yeah.
Right.
All right.
And me and Scott talked about this on the Boop Show the other day, and I just feel like they're probably just dominating right now. NetEase.
Oh, NetEase.
NetEase.
Another Chinese company, 10-cent NetEase.
Yeah, I just feel like they're killing it this past year.
No, they're not. They're not killing enough to make the top 10.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
I don't think I'm looking at this list, and I don't think any of these companies would be a host of NetEase or like a.
No. NetEase is its own publisher, and they make a lot of stuff in China and stuff, but they don't do enough to. They don't do enough to probably crack the top 10. Ha ha! Gotcha, Dunaway.
And we finally
Scott
have
Johnson.
a winner for the robot.
Yes,
Well,
finally.
who's the rest then?
Rob, you are the winner.
Because we've got. It's not Sega.
Before I give him, Scott, do you have any? What would have been your next guess?
I was gonna. So tell me what Valve's status is, because Valve's a publisher, but they also don't make very many of their own games anymore. They also rake in cash constantly with Steam. So
They're not. Yeah, I wouldn't think it because of publishing. It's just because of.
Yeah, so I don't think it counts.
Steam wouldn't put them on the list, and they're not on the.
Okay,
on the
good.
top
I'm
10
glad I
list.
didn't ask that one or say that.
I was gonna
Ben?
say also had. I was thinking about 2K games, but I don't know if they still really do anything. They kind of been.
Oh, they do. 2K's
They
in
kinda-
there.
okay.
They're not in the top 10, but
Not
they're
on the list.
they're
Dang
still
it.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
then who is left then?
Your last 4: Bandai Namco Entertainment,
Oh, Square Enix.
Square Enix number 6,
Ubisoft.
There it is.
Ubisoft number 9, and last one.
Hold on. I should
We
know
didn't
all
say
of this.
Ubisoft?
Yeah, we just said
did
Ubisoft.
not
Well, we didn't
yeah,
say
you
it.
did
in
not
the-
say Ubisoft when it
I
mattered.
already said it.
Not when it mattered.
Hold on. Don't say. Don't say.
Somebody in the chat room actually said it.
Oh, they did? That's not Sega, is it?
It's not.
I
Sega.
said Sega, and no.
Sega's doing a lot of PC publishing now, but I don't think they're in the top.
Right. Not enough to make money.
Well, I mean, they think they make money. They just it's
Right.
not top 10
Not to-
money.
pay the 10
I don't know.
people to work
I don't know who that. Who's the final one?
It's leading the way with games like Grand Theft Auto, NBA
Oh,
2K.
Rockstar.
Okay.
That is 2K though. 2K
That's
publishing.
Not
Take
Take-Two.
Two. That's Take
Oh,
Two
two.
Interactive.
Take Two.
Right.
Gosh dang.
There's a 2 in it.
No, I know. That's what I do every time I screw that up. All right. None of it's Bluehole is now owned by Tencent. You guys in the chat who keep saying Bluehole. That's not them.
Yeah, there you go.
Bluehole.
Bluehole.
Excellent work, Rob. You won. I didn't. That was an intense.
A hard fought battle.
It was. I was biting my nails.
Yeah.
Scott, you're the man.
You're the man for picking me.
Congratulations.
All right, so
You're a winner.
here's all you got to do. Send an email to Brian at coverville@gmail.com. You probably already have it because you guys have communicated before. He'll get that stuff out to you ASAP, and you, good sir, are the winner. Have a fantastic day, and well done.
Very good.
Dunaway, look, you can't win them all, buddy. It's just how it is.
I don't like to lose. That's okay as long as I don't lose them all.
Yeah.
That's what's
Nobody wants
You
to.
can't lose them all either. That's
Right, right.
That's the good takeaway. You can't win them
There you
all,
go.
but you also can't lose them.
Yeah, you can't lose them all, can't win them all, but having
Unless
you here
you're
is
the
a.
Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
Eh.
You can lose everything. You have a fantastic day. Is there anything you want to
Hopefully.
pimp or talk about? Are you good? Everything good?
No, let's just don't forget next week, people. Stay tuned for some Boop. We'll be back next Monday.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to
Hopefully.
talk about. I got all kinds of crap to talk about. And you can find Brian at the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. He's always got something to say on there, and he's a good follow. I can promise you that.
That's what I do.
Take it easy. Stay out of trouble. Talk to you later. Okay.
Okay.
We've done it. Now this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, it's the news, and it's brought to you by.
The Geek Versus podcast. Things are about to get weird when Tony, Betty, and Casey provide a nerd's eye view of pop culture on the Geek Versus podcast. Available on your favorite podcast app or at geekversus.com.
Very nice. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
By the
Yeah.
way, I'm looking at the 2017 annual report from Tencent Holdings Limited. They've got a penguin with a scarf on the cover of their annual report.
Yeah, it sucks.
How can anybody take that seriously?
You can't. It's not. Tencent is the weirdest company. I just don't understand them. They now own a huge controlling share of Riot Games, so they have this hand in all things League of Legends. Like some of the biggest things on the planet, they've got some big controlling stake in, and they came kind of out of nowhere and kind of the fastest growth ever. It's just crazy. Like they're the biggest. I mean, the future is we're heading toward Firefly territory. The Chinese are just going to own everything. It's just how it is.
Big Hero 6 is there in our future.
Yeah, except that was Japan, right?
Oh, that was Japan. That's right. That was San Fran Tokyo or whatever it was called, right?
Yeah, what was that called? San Fran.
San Fran Tokyo.
Soki. I don't remember. That was definitely not it. Yeah, and you're right, Chad. The Tencent is like a conglomerate, but they're very odd. It's very odd. Anyway, here's the story about this lady here. That really bummed me out. I feel like I'm not getting the full story, though, and you'll see why here in a second. But the headline goes like this. A woman was jailed for 3 months because police thought her cotton candy was meth. Now, I get that I get that it kind of is blue and, I mean, whatever.
But the blue meth thing that's just Breaking Bad.
I think so. I'm not. Isn't most meths like clear or semi-clear looking?
Yeah, like quartzy looking. From what I hear.
From what we know. I guess I learned that on Breaking Bad. Also, I actually don't know. I don't know what normal meth
doesn't all
looks
look like this.
Let's see what you got. Oh, look at that. Brian's got a little bag of the good stuff.
Yes, got that in Albuquerque.
I'd give you $1 if you snorted one of those up your nose right now. Just snort.
I'd eat one, but I'm not going to snort one.
Oh, it's actually.
These are like rocks. These are like.
Hey, I had a friend in high school who snorted Tiny Tarts. And I think
Did he grind them up though?
No, he snorted the entire little barrel-shaped Tiny Tart. Yeah, they're the size of like an eraser head, but maybe a little bit smaller. And he just would hork those up his nostril, and I think he's got like serious nose problems now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like
wow.
deviated.
These are like little rock candy. You get them from
Yeah, you sent me a baggie of these.
I did.
And they were great. I ate them.
Tight.
I ate them all. This is the difference between Brian and I. He's still got that little bag of candy.
I can still pull out of the drawer here. I can still pull out a box of Oreos or a package of Oreos.
Oh, and I never told you I never told you where I got the good nachos. I forgot to do that.
Oh yeah. Where'd you get the good nachos?
So here's a good recommendation. I give it about an 8.5 out of 10, somewhere in that range.
Wow.
Pretty high praise, I guess. It's also a giant portion. It was insane. It was like a mountain. But it's the Porcupine Grill in downtown Salt Lake City. There's actually two of them, one out by one of the canyons and then this one downtown. And they have great food in general. But if you're looking for a nice little pub atmosphere / good food place, Porcupine Grill. It's very good.
Nice.
It's very good. All right.
I'll make sure to visit there next time I'm in Salt Lake City.
Sounds great. Oh, I talked to Corinne about a possible 2020 Nerdtacular event.
I knew it. I knew you couldn't stay away.
It was just a discussion. We don't know anything.
Yeah, that's how these things start.
But 2020, you gotta, it's a big year.
And by the way, now that you've mentioned on the show,
yeah,
it's.
Oh, did I say that?
God, no, it's fact.
Did I say it out loud? I must have said it out loud. Weird. Okay.
It's like the 11th commandment now on the tablet that Moses just brought down from the hill and says, "Your 11th commandment, there shall be a Nerdtacular
2020 N20." I like Homer once said.
It's just
discussions, but like Homer once said, I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud. So there you go. All right. So this woman, she's thrown in jail for 3 months because police thought this cotton candy was meth. Now, this woman, she's in Georgia. The deputies said that after a field test of a blue substance, again, like I only thought was in the TV show, was found in the car. Turned up positive for methamphetamine. That's what they said. But it wasn't meth. It was cotton candy. Dana Fisher claims that while she was in jail, she missed several major life events, including the birth of twin grandchildren, and was refused medical care for a broken hand and an ovarian cyst. I think I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Ovarian cyst.
Ovarian cyst. Now she's filed a lawsuit against Monroe County and 3 officers involved in wrongful imprisonment and violating her civil rights. The lawsuit also targets Sweaty Handquisition Company, the maker of the field kit the deputies used to produce the mistaken test results. According to this lawsuit, Fincher was a passenger in a car, was pulled over by the sheriff back in 2016. Deputies initially said they stopped the car because they thought the tinting on the car's windows were too dark, but clarified at the scene that it was not a violation. They then asked the driver if they could see the vehicle, if they could search the vehicle, and soon found what they called a large, open, clear plastic bag that contained a light blue substance, spherical in shape, in the car's floorboards.
In the floorboards. Okay, now there's little question marks are getting raised.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be all for this lady's story. I don't want her to be wrongfully imprisoned. But something's weird. And I also don't think cops, unless you're really, really dirty and need an arrest.
Yeah.
Why would you look at something that's obviously cotton candy and go, "Nah, it's meth. Let's get her in jail."
Exactly. Yeah. The fact that it's hidden in the floorboards, it's like, I don't want them kids to take my cotton candy.
That's right. The fair doesn't come around every day, I gotta hang on to what I can get.
Exactly. The next paragraph actually seals the deal.
Yeah, it kind of does. So here's the deal. Fincher and the driver both explained it was just a bag of blue cotton candy, but the deputies decided to test it using a field test kit, which indicated the 1.5-ounce wad of blue fluff contained methamphetamine. Nice. Fincher and her boyfriend, the boyfriend was driving, were arrested for possession and trafficking of meth. According to the lawsuit, Fincher repeatedly professed her innocence and stated that the blue substance was in fact cotton candy. They have not gotten a reply when contacting the Sweaty. Is it really the place that makes the kits for searching your car is really called Sweaty Handquisition Company? I mean, it's not spelled like Searchy, like Searchy, but that's really
it's spelled
funny.
Like if you said, "Oh, Sir Archie," I'm just gonna shorten that to Searchy.
Oh, Sir Archie.
I dub thee Sir Archie.
Ah, Sir Archie. You will be the Duke of searching cars for drugs. Anyway.
So if they would have just had it kind of a little bit more out in the open, and B, used pink, I think they might have gotten away with it.
They might have. You know what I think happened? There was some meth hidden in your cotton candy there. That's what I think. It may have even been cotton candy, but because I don't think meth comes in like a fluffy whatever. And also, see, I have all these ideas.
I mean, you can probably. I mean, I don't know, but if you can turn granulated rock sugar into cotton candy, who's to say you couldn't do the same thing with rock meth?
It's entirely possible. Yeah. I don't know how you. I guess do you ingest it? Do you smoke it? I don't know what you do. But here's
probably. Oh yeah, good point.
But at the stop, couldn't she have said, "Here, I'll prove it," and just eat some or something? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things this doesn't say.
And she go tight.
Super fishy story. I don't think we're getting the whole story there, which is often the case with this sort of stuff.
Right.
Especially with drugs, man. Drugs. What good are they?
Jesse, today we're gonna make cotton candy from meth.
Candy. Whatever, bitch.
Science, bitch. You can tell how long it's been since we've seen an episode of Breaking Bad because yours sound a little bit like Shaggy.
Yeah, I went total Shaggy on that, which, I don't think is too bad.
Zoinks!
Zoinks! Oh my gosh, Fred! Thelma, look!
Zoinks, we're gonna be making some meth! What the...
Oh, it's been too long. Too long a time.
Maybe somebody needs to do that. Maybe somebody needs to do a
who would
mash up Walter White and Shaggy. I think you still use a Walter White. You do it as a cartoon.
Yeah.
And you do Walter White and Shaggy.
So the Walter White's not some other character in the Shaggy universe.
No. He'd still be Walter White, but he'd be a cartoon like an drawn Archer style version of Walter White, and then you'd have Shaggy next to him, and they'd be going, "Now listen, Shaggy, I need you to be cool and stay in the Winnebago while
Zoinks!
Zoinks! I got the wrong kind of trash can, man. That stuff melted right through.
The lady she put the ATM on his head, man. Zoinks! Yeah. I like your idea.
He melted right through the bathtub. Zoinks! I wasn't expecting that.
If they're gonna they're making a Cowboy Bebop live action movie. They're remaking Pet Sematary. If you're gonna do all this weird stuff, Brian's isn't that weird. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, right. It's
not that weird.
Right in line with all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. All right, here's a financial opportunity you've missed, Brian, and we both missed it, really.
Jinkies, my girlfriend's dead.
Spoiler, season 3 spoiler. Woo.
Whatever, you should have seen it by now.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're well past
next article.
the Gilligan, Vince Gilligan 2 weeks is way up, folks. You should go.
It's full. Exactly. Yes.
Way gone.
Full 2 weeks. Yeah.
It's almost 10 years ago. 2009 was that show when it started? Think of that. 10 years ago.
Crazy.
That's nuts. I don't like thinking about it. Anyway, a couple launched a new mobile shower service. This is a community service.
This does not sound like any kind of shower I'd like to use.
No, I wouldn't me either, but I like their intentions. So here's what they say. It's for homeless folks. That's the idea. This is a Honolulu couple. By the way, Hawaii has a terrible homeless problem. Most of them sleep on a beach because it's legal. You can actually legally sleep on the beach.
They have like cardboard box tent cities that's right there, like just on the edge of town. It's not even
it's bad.
They don't even go really far out. It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. Actually, homeless stuff in general is having an uptick right now. I don't like it. Anyway, they took it upon themselves to start one up and open it this week. This mobile shower. They say they're giving back to the community. Gives them blessings, they say. The mobile hygiene center is called Revive Plus Refresh. Geez, the freaking douche people called and want their commercial back. That sounds like
what about that not so fresh feeling, Scott?
Yeah. Mom, sometimes I just don't feel fresh. Well, Cindy, go home and I won't go any more there.
Sometimes I smell like the seafood part of Pike City Market.
Oh man, Brian went there.
Pike Market in Seattle.
It's Brian who went there. Everybody.
I went there. Fine. Send me your emails.
Send your emails to Brian.
Whatever.
Coverville@gmail.com.
That's basically what those commercials are. Hey, let's talk about this new mobile shower service.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. Their names are Craig and Danica Shoji. They did this as a volunteer project. We're just trying to help where we can. For us, it's a blessing to be able to bless other people. They have a city contract for $400,000 over 5 years, of which $150,000 was to produce the truck and trailers. This is pretty expensive. That leaves $50,000 a year for the next 5 years. Every time we take the truck and trailer out on the road, there is a fixed cost the city contract won't cover. We need to raise an additional $150,000 a year to fund the project. Revive and Refresh is a nonprofit organization. So this truck drives around and to spots where there's a lot of homeless folks. Let them get in line, get a hot shower. It's pretty cool, actually.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
It'd be, if there was some way that they could like give them a robe and then do a load of laundry for them or something as well, like in the same thing, right? They're in the shower. Hey, we're gonna wash your clothes while you're in the shower. It'll take a little while to dry, so here's a robe. Hang out, and like really punch this thing up.
Yeah.
Not like I'm saying, oh, you're not doing enough driving this shower thing around. Now let's make it a little more complicated.
Sure.
But you could add that on, like some company, Maytag could throw in and say, oh, you know what, we'll throw a washer and dryer, a couple washer and dryers in each of these mobile units, and
yeah, that's a great idea.
and do that.
Yeah, I like that some people are doing this. They say Baucast say they have a building in Seattle that does this, so someone set up a permanent space. Seattle, another town that has a terrible homeless problem. It's just bad right now. Last night I was just noticing way more homeless people downtown in Salt Lake. It's just, I don't know what's going on. There's an uptick. Or maybe I'm just perceiving an uptick. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know what the stats are.
It's too bad.
Or if anyone has the stats. But anyway, this is a cool thing. I'm glad they're doing it, and well done to them. Here, Brian, let's get to a wedding photographer. This is of interest to me because both my daughter Taylor does this for part of her job. Not this. She is nothing like this case. Okay,
Right. She does wedding photography, but she
is not this.
but she won't do that. No.
Here's the headline that Brian's referring to. Wedding.
Take that, Twitch.
I think you're okay. I think you got away with it.
Yeah, I think we're all right. I don't think anyone's going to confuse that with meatloaf.
No.
Yeah.
A wedding photographer got arrested after having sex with a guest and urinating on a tree while on the job. To me, it's the tree part that really throws me.
Right, like it's just funny. Like, and also took a handful of M&Ms out of one of the candy dishes on the table.
Yeah, it seems like an odd thing. Like you could have stopped with the illicit congress with somebody at the party, but also you peed on a tree. Great. A wedding photographer in Texas was arrested on the job after allegedly having sex with a guest and urinating on a tree. Her name is Katie Mette.
What? She?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a girl. Yeah, it's a girl, and she's
It's a whole extra. That's a whole extra 4 steps to pee on a tree if you're a woman.
I agree. There's a physical difference there, isn't there?
Dude, unzip and you're good to go.
This threw me a little bit too, but she's 26 years old. She goes by the name of Max McIntyre for her business, and she also says here she also says she's a swimsuit modeling person. She says she has a career in that. Anyway,
Okay.
she was documenting a wedding at Parker Manor in Weatherford when the incident occurred. According to the arrest report, an off-duty sheriff provided security at the event and was alerted about her inappropriate behavior by a member of the wedding party. She was reportedly doing the duty with a man from the wedding. When the officer advised her to leave, she went over to a tree and began to urinate. According Such a weird.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you think this is bad? Watch this.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. It says the photographer reportedly smelled very strongly of alcohol and was found with a bottle of alprazolam, which is it's basically generic Xanax used to treat anxiety and panic disorders, in her jacket, which the officer believed she was mixing. That's a common bad party idea. Mixing Xanax with alcohol is very, very bad. Makes you do terrible things like stuff like this. After she was arrested, she became belligerent and started yelling threats to the officers in the car, including "Y'all's daughters are dead," or "Y'all's family will be dead by Christmas." I'm reading the "y'all" part. It's in there.
Yeah. It's in there.
Yeah, those are her threats. She's now facing charges of public intoxication, a felony charge of obstruction or retaliation. Didn't immediately respond to Fox News for a request for comment. This was on Fox News.
I posted a link to her Instagram account.
Oh.
So you can see the photographer that you're hiring.
Let's take a look here.
Or photographer / swimsuit model.
Yeah, let's see what you think, chat. Oh, geez. She's, that's her, really?
That's her. That's
All right,
that's Katie/Max.
Okay. Here's a bunch of photos. Oh, she likes to be sort of quite rather naked a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, not naked, but sort of mostly.
Yes, in various stages of
undress,
disrobing.
Yeah, she's okay to Instagram won't ban you for that,
right?
As long as you got a good butt floss going. But anyway, there she is. That's her deal. And she peed on a tree, which is something you do.
Mom, what do you do when you've got that? I've got to pee, and the only thing around is a tree feeling.
She looks like a pole dancer. Now I wouldn't judge. Who knows what she does?
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, and by good butt flossing.
But you're 100% right, Jeannie. Come on, let's be honest.
I mean, she's probably right. Anyway, whatever. I wish the best for her. Probably shouldn't have. It's the felony charge of obstruction and retaliation. Her kicking and yelling in the car. That's the stuff you should never do. Like this other stuff, misdemeanor, disturbing of the peace, lewd, this and that. Those are all things you can get rid of.
Who hasn't had sex at a wedding, really?
Right. Who hasn't peed on a tree at a wedding? Sure. I have many times, but I'm just saying, if you'd have stopped there, you could. This stuff cannot kill your career or your life. A felony can murder everything. So, what are you doing?
Yep.
Put that Xanax and that stuff away. All right. Final story. This is great. Vegans crashed a diner, and they jumped in there. They stormed into this steakhouse diner place and played a recording of cows being slaughtered. And then they got in a fight with the people eating there, and they had to get kicked out. But anyway, this happened when a bunch of angry vegans stormed a Brazilian restaurant. How much is a Brazilian?
Just can't say. We cannot say that word without jumping into.
Sorry, Brazil.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. Anyway, they were playing recordings of cows being slaughtered as diners tucked into their steaks. The gang, called the Direct Action Everywhere gang group thing, flashed an anti-meat eating sign that said "It's not food, it's violence," emblazoned on them, and barked out speech at the Turo Steakhouse in Brighton. This is in Europe, by the way.
It's in the UK. Yeah.
After barking through the restaurant, they were ordered to leave, with jeering diners chanting, "You're not singing anymore," as they were marched out. What does that mean? You're not singing anymore.
You're not singing anymore. I don't know.
You're
I don't
not
even
singing
know what
anymore. It doesn't even. It's not.
No.
That's weird.
Way too many syllables for a repeatable chant. Sorry.
We're full of meat and we don't know what to say. So they just said that.
5 syllables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what you base your neener chants with a 5-syllable.
Yeah, like you ain't got no chicken. You ain't got no chicken. Like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But when you go, you're not singing
That's 6
anymore.
And it still works.
You ain't singing anymore. Maybe you could do that.
Yeah.
You got to put the ain't in there. Nobody likes that.
Still doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It says here, footage of the demonstration began with the person filming saying, "This smells horrible. Look at all the flesh." All right, I got to say this. I don't have a problem with veganism at all. I'm 100% support people who want to be vegans. Be vegan. Do it for the health reasons. Do it for the save the animals reasons. Do it. It's great. I think veganism is great. Zero problem with veganism. You got to figure out a way, though, to not put your activism in it. Like, you got to figure that out. Right. I don't know how it is, but...
This is not the way that you...
I mean, you can, and they may say they have to. Some people blow up abortion clinics because they think that's the only way to fight that. So I understand extremism. I understand what that means and why people do it. But just let people who are going to eat their meat, and then you go do your vegan
no one
thing.
in there is going to say, "Gosh, those people who interrupted my meal and..."
Yeah,
they're absolutely right. I'm going to be a changed person from now on.
You're not going to change any hearts and minds by doing this. And already veganism is a growing trend, while regular meat eating is dipping. So you're already winning just in just sort of the natural progression of things. So don't do this.
Yeah,
don't do this. Stay home and eat your weird vegan cheese and be happy.
Vegans with honey,
right? With vegan honey. They don't care.
Vegan honey.
They're cool with honey, right? They don't mind.
Cage-free honey. Yeah.
That's
that's a good point. Is that? Ooh.
Does that exploit bees? I don't know.
I don't know. Because you do have to somewhat cage the bees. I mean, they're kind of free to go. You're just basically holding the queen, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I don't know how that works because you walk out. with all the goop on your legs from a flower. Okay, here's
they're saying no, it's an animal product, so vegans do not. They avoid honey because bees make them.
But they don't get hurt or killed making it.
No, but they avoid animal products, and a bee is an animal.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to know more about this. This annoys me. Hold on. Do vegans eat honey? There's a whole Reddit on this. Jeez, are you kidding? Okay, for one thing, bees don't die in order to make honey like cows, turkeys, or chickens do. However, there is an easy hole to poke in that argument. Vegans don't eat eggs either. For anyone following a vegan diet for well-being of animals, these are obvious reasons to skip out on honey. All right, so I guess they don't do honey. That's weird, though. You're just eating excrement. It's basically bee barf.
Right, but, at some point, there's another line then, like what would be the next step? That's not quite eating an animal, but you're eating the byproduct of an animal. You've either got to be cold turkey. No, I can't use that reference.
No. You can't go cold. You have to go cold tofu or something.
Tofurkey, yes.
Yeah.
I went cold tofurkey on my veganism.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Again, bee what?
Right, Dunaway says, what if the bees put the honey in your mouth?
What if a bee flies in my mouth and deposits the honey? Okay,
that's right.
Now we're talking. That's vegan honey right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess honey. Okay, milk to cows, same kind of thing. It doesn't hurt the cow. You're enslaving or not enslaving. Well, you could be.
Yeah, the idea is you're treating cows poorly
caging
to harvest.
The cow.
Yeah,
right,
you're harvesting their milk and
you're not letting those bees go free.
Yeah, I get it. And again, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great principled stance, and you should do it if you want to. Just don't go barking down everyone else's throat about it. You're not helping your cause, and you're not doing anything but annoy people and making you look bad and making vegans seem crazy. And I don't think vegans are. I know plenty of vegans who aren't crazy. I have vegans in my house once. Every once in a while, I have a vegan here.
Some of my best friends are vegans.
Oh, that's too good. All right, we're going to take a break on that note, and when we come back, Tom Merritt, Nicole Spag, all the fun stuff we do on Wednesdays, that's all coming up next. Before that, though, a song prepared by Brian, which we will now explain with his voice.
With my voice. This is cool. This has got some kind of 90s funk groove to it. Not a rocker, but more of like a funky groove. Anyway, this is a band called The Darcys. It's a duo out of Toronto. Brand new song that they're releasing, and I think they're just doing singles because in the summer they released a song called Just Here With My Friends, which featured Leah Faye of the band July Talk. This is their new track. It is called Chasing the Fall. It's about taking a tumble down the rabbit hole. It's a night in your life that starts out strange and only continues into disarray. Anyway, it's really cool. Here are the Darcys and Chasing the Fall.
All right, we're marked. And now I play this.
We're all looking for new thrills, new experiences. It's part of life. Unfortunately, it often takes experience and maturity to arrive at wise decisions.
Tell that to your mom and dad tonight. They'll really be surprised.
The morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Our vegan thing made me cough a lot because we laugh. It's hard not to laugh at that. That was funny.
Indeed, that was fun.
And if you look, vegans, you want to write in and tell me where you stand on the activism half of what you're doing, or not that you are, but you know what I mean. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's the only way to do stuff? Like, I'm curious. I'm curious about what people's stances on that stuff would be. Just cause.
B.
But B. Oh, you said B. Now we're gonna play this.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is spinny camera Tom Merritt.
That's what they called me back in the day.
Who would have thought that Tom would get flummoxed by camera tech?
Nope, there he is.
Old spinny camera.
There he's back. Yeah, old spinny camera, they'd call you. And
yeah, that's when your camera had a little too much.
Yeah, they called me tripod, but I won't tell you why. Anyway,
hey-o.
Hey-o.
Yeah, because you had 3 fingers.
Because I always brought a cane.
That's exactly right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, Tom Merritt. He is the world's most renowned, as far as I'm concerned, internet tech expert. And because of that, he has a show called The Daily Tech News Show. And he comes on this show on Wednesdays and previews things a little bit, talks about maybe what's coming up. And he's also my co-host on Current Geek, which we put up last night. I recommend you go check that out at currentgeek.com. Tom Merritt, show us what's in your basket this morning.
Well, I've got a lot. There's a lot of cool things in the basket. Project Fi, Google's cellular service, has been renamed to Google Fi.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
and they've done something else big. They now will let it work on any phone. Previously, you had to activate Fi service on a limited number of phones. There were some LG phones, Motorola phones, of course, all the Google-made phones. Because it uses multiple cellular networks. The cool thing about Project Fi, one of the cool things about Project Fi, I'm sorry, Google Fi now, is that if you're using one of those phones, it will use T-Mobile, Sprint, or Wi-Fi, whichever one is strongest, or even US Cellular if you're in one of the regions with that. It'll just look for the best signal and use that, so you get better coverage, right?
Right.
I've used Project Fi in non-standard phones because what you do is you find a standard phone, you activate your Fi service, and then you move it to an iPhone or whatever. The trade-off is once you move it to a non-standard phone, it only uses T-Mobile because those phones aren't set up to handle Fi's special multi-cellular system, right?
Right.
So the big change today is that Google Fi is out there like, we're called Google Fi, and we work on all the phones now. We work on iPhones, we work on Android, it's great. You know, go knock yourself out. The only thing they've changed is they'll now activate your service on any phone. You still can't get the multi-cellular service if you're using an iPhone or some non-standard Android phone.
Right. But if so this is more than just an app, though. I got to like subscribe to the service, obviously.
Yeah, it's a great service. I mean, it's I think the base price, don't take this for sure. They may have changed it. It used to be $20 a month, and you would roll over anything you didn't use data-wise. Okay. You get unlimited calls, unlimited text, and then if you didn't use your provision of data, you could apply it to the next month. So you could, the less you used it, the less you pay, the more you use it. And it didn't have a hard cap. It just had a certain amount you pay if you use more data, and you didn't have to go in and pick a new plan to do that. It was a simple plan. So it's pretty nice for that. They also have free international roaming.
Oh, that's a big
like
one.
T-Mobile.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go into another country, you can use it without having to worry about setting up. Still the same deal. You still pay for the minutes you're using and all that. So yeah, I used it in a Nexus 5X. That's how I activated it. But I would throw it in my iPhone. I'd throw it in my Essential phone and try it out for that. It worked really well in Japan.
Yeah.
It did not work real well for me in Korea for some reason. Whatever their partners were, just weren't in the regions that I was a lot of the time. But it's a cool service, and I'm glad they're saying, you know what, we're not going to do this silly thing of not letting you activate it on another phone. Although I'm sure some people are going to get frustrated when they activate it and they're like, hey, I'm not getting the fancy multi-cellular thing. What's up with that?
Yeah. So, I mean, what does this do from an iPhone perspective? What does this do if you're like an AT&T subscriber now? Can you cancel that service if you're out of contract and just use this as your new data?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any other MVNO, like Metro PCS or whatever. You Cricket Wireless, any of those. You just go sign up. And the cool thing about Project Fi is you don't have to go to a store. You just go on the website. Google Fi.
Google Fi.
You just go online. You sign up. They send you the SIM card. You pop it in your phone, and now you don't have to go find a friend. Allison Sheridan from the NosillaCast, she came over and tried to use my 5X to activate her Project Fi phone, but we ran into an issue where my phone was already registered to my Fi account, and she was just wanting to use it as her iPad data when she was traveling overseas. They since then now issue data-only cards for situations like that.
Yeah.
But you already had to have had a Project Fi account to do that. So now that it's Google Fi and you can just get it with any phone, you don't have to deal with that dance anymore.
This is interesting. I guess I didn't really understand what the Project Fi thing was all about at the time because I guess I never really put my head to it. But this is interesting, like an interesting alternative thing. It looks like I'm reading here that, your average monthly for average folk is going to be somewhere in the $40 range. That's definitely lower than what I'm paying.
Yeah. Dubious Rascal says he and his wife average $50 a month on about a gig of data usage.
That's impressive. All right.
Yeah.
I'm officially interested in checking that out. I don't know where my contract status is with AT&T, but I'll figure it out. Because obviously you wouldn't want to do this on top of that, because what's the point, right? Like if you've already got
well, unless you get one of those fancy dual SIM phones or something, and you want to keep both as an option.
Right.
I used Fi as my second account because I like to try out other phones. So that would always be my test phone account.
Oh, right, because that's a great way to test your other phones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you still using? Do you find yourself using that Essential phone at all? Is it kind of
not as much lately? Not since I moved, really, for some reason. I don't think it has anything to do with the move. It's just kind of coincidental.
Not so essential after all, is it?
Not as much as it used to be.
All right. Well, this is interesting. Interesting change, interesting stuff, and seeing that kind of go a little more mainstream is certainly fascinating. We'll talk more about this and other things, I'm sure, on the Daily Tech News Show later today at 2:30 Mountain Time. I'll be there. It's Wednesday. I love being on, and looking forward to being with you, Roger and Sarah. Anything else going on today you want to mention?
I do want to mention that the Gallium audiobook is out with Veronica. Mentioned that before, but if you hadn't had a chance to go check it out, now's your chance.
It's out
Do
now.
it right now.
Oh my
Go to
gosh.
audible.com.
Yeah,
Search
what-
Tom Merritt or Veronica Belmont. It'll come right up. It's called Gallium. It's about a space salvager who finds a historical find, but nobody wants her to make it public. How can she be stopped? You must find out. You must buy Gallium
Yes.
at audible.com.
She says things like this.
Charge up your balls.
Yeah, it's insane. You gotta
in there, Scott.
You just gotta check it out for yourself and hear that.
I just don't want to overpromise. That's why
deleted scenes is what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a few F-bombs in those deleted
Outtakes,
scenes.
yeah.
I'm sure they exist.
There's not.
Yeah.
Well, there might be in the outtakes. Not in the book.
Yeah, not in the actual book. Well, Tom, Tom's a clean. I don't know what I'm saying. Hey, we'll see you later today, Tom. Bye. All right. Good Lord.
Tom is clean. I'll say that. I'll back you up on that.
I forgot I had that one.
Charge up your balls.
Charge up your balls.
Let's
see.
I'm wearing a dog suit. I don't have any clothes on. I'm just a dog.
Jeez.
She's not talking about charging up your Pokeballs, right?
No. Look at your Pokeball. Let me see that again. I got one coming to me. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to play that game. I can't believe I care. I care suddenly.
It's a blast. You know what? It's a fun fun Pokemon game.
Is it true they got rid of random encounters? I can just go kill what I want to kill?
Oh. Well, not kill.
Well, not kill, but you know what I mean. I can go initiate.
Catch whatever you want.
Yeah, I want to go initiate a battle.
Right. You see, oh, there's a Raticate over there. I want to Raticate, and you go over and you get the Raticate, or you see the Clefairy over there, and you go get the Clefairy, as opposed to you're just in the battle with whatever it is.
I'm into this. I don't know why I care, but I'm excited for that thing to show up. It's supposed to be here.
You know,
tomorrow.
a lot of people don't like that feature. I like it. I'm happy with it.
I am 100% about a JRPG style game that avoids random encounters. I hate them. Running through the weeds, hoping that something's going to pop, or just trying to get somewhere and not wanting that to pop. Freaking F that.
Yes.
It sucks.
Yeah, there's even, you can have there's lures, but you can also have a repel so that things won't, if you just want to get to where you're going and not run into any Pokemon, even though you can kind of steer around them, you don't want one of those little fast moving Rattatas to come grab you.
Yeah.
Then you can put on a super repel or just repel, and they'll stay away from you.
That's right. Well, we've all learned that.
I should say, like, Scott Johnson is my bitch.
Okay. Jeez,
Yeah, that's
Veronica
true.
Belmont.
It is true.
Slow down, lady. All right, let's Nicole it up. Oh, whoops. That didn't work right. Nicole, there we go.
Spag it up in here. It's awfully spaggy.
It's
in
very
here all of a sudden.
spaggy. What's going on with the Spagination? All right, well, we'll get her coming in here. We'll get her little thing queued up here. And we'll talk recommendals, because that's what we do, and we like to do it. And we have a good time with it. And here's her thing. Hey, everybody. Look who it is. It's Nicole Spag from Colorado.
Hey.
Same state as Brian. Hi, welcome. How are you?
Hey, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound
I can hear
good.
you. I can hear you now.
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Totally hear you now. It was a pretty good Bill Cosby you did just then. The hey.
you.
Yeah, nice job. Ooh, that one's not bad either. You think he's doing a lot of that in prison, or what do you think's going on there?
I bet you it's a lot of prisoners are going up to him and say, "Do the Fat Albert thing."
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to leave you alone for another.
I want just like a body cam kind of day with Bill Cosby in prison. I want to know what that's like, just to see.
Yeah,
Be super curious.
Reality show, Keeping Up with the Cosby.
Why not?
Keeping Up with Cos.
Well, today we're keeping up with the Spags.
I love that Keenan can do his character again on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, right. He totally can. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I love his Bill Cosby impression. It's so good.
It is right on the money, too.
That guy's now been there longer. Isn't the deal he's been longer than any SNL cast member?
Exactly. He is the longest running comedian on SNL.
Even the announcer guy, because he was a cast member forever.
Well, yeah, but I don't think you consider he's not one of the not ready for primetime players. Like Don Pardo was, he's always been the announcer. He was until
he died, right?
Till even before he died, when he started getting sick. Keckner, was it not Keckner? It was
it's the guy that does the Bill Clinton.
Daryl Hammond.
Oh,
Yeah.
Daryl Hammond, right? Bill
Started
Fickner.
going in there and
Got it, nailed it. Well, that's great because I just like him. I think he's great. He went from that Nickelodeon show to be one of the funnier dudes on SNL. I think that's awesome. Hey, Nicole's here for almost said this, the Spag.
What's up with that?
She's here for Recomentals. That's what I was going to call it. Recomentals. That's where we take stuff from streaming services we've been watching and we recommend them here on the show. Sometimes we warn you against things, but usually it's recomentals. And today is no different. Brian, you're to begin. Any setup or
begin?
Go.
This is a little bit of a longer clip, but I feel like you need the whole thing. It's just under a minute, but it's a lot of fun. This is something very brand new to streaming this week, and
better not be mine.
Oh,
that's all I gotta say.
Really? Is yours on Amazon Prime?
Oh no, it's
okay.
Netflix.
Phew.
Okay, good. All right, good.
Phew. All right. Well, here it is. I'll play it. Let's see if we can figure out what this is. Here you go.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jeff Lanowski, Senior Product Specialist and happy homeowner here at Leisureland Estates. You having a good time? So, what do you think of my place? Just wait till you see what's inside.
Jeff, you've got to stop inviting guests over without telling me. I finally just got in the tub to relax after such a busy day. First, I took a tennis lesson and had a massage.
Nice.
And then after a gourmet lunch with the girls, well, we couldn't help ourselves, so we popped into that new Loger jewelry store downtown.
Uh-oh. Loger? What's that gonna cost me?
I was really good. Just another diamond bracelet.
Just a diamond bracelet? That doesn't sound like you.
You're right. I don't like to break up a set, so I got matching diamond earrings and a matching diamond necklace.
How much, Laura?
Oh, but Jeff, they look so good on me.
I said how much?
$83.
$83? Why, that's practically our food budget for 2 whole months.
Okay, that
What
sounds
is
like
this?
this sounds like Drew Barrymore. Am I right?
No, that is Laura Dern.
Oh, Laura Dern. They have a very similar
Neil
voice.
Patrick Harris.
Okay.
Oh really?
Yes.
I have no idea.
What
What
is
this
this?
They're doing a commercial for Leisureland Estates, which is where you go when you get shrunk down to microsize.
Oh, the
downsizing.
Downsizing. I was going to watch this, but I changed my mind at the last minute.
Wait, are
and
you telling me
watched
the
what I'm
premise is
recommending.
people are literally getting shrunk down? Like,
Yes.
Yeah. Did you not see the preview for this
no
movie?
I have no idea. Oh, it's a movie, not it's not a show.
Matt Damon's in it as well, right?
Matt Damon's the star of it. You don't hear him at all in that clip. Matt Damon, Kristen Wiig are a husband and wife who decide to go for this new thing called downsizing. By the way, this is a Alexander Payne film, the guy who did The Descendants and About Schmidt, Sideways. From the previews, you might think it's one thing. You might think this is like a kind of that it really tells the story, like kind of this whole shrinking process and what happens to this guy. And it kind of is that until the second half of the movie, and it becomes something else. And I don't want to go into what that is, but it feels like an Alexander Payne film. I mean, it feels like The Descendants and About Schmidt, where there's this kind of surface layer of comedy and then this kind of other thing that's underneath it. It's good. It just landed on Amazon Prime this week, and Tina and I have been kind of waiting to watch it. It is It's good. It is. It's. You know,
it has 2.5 stars on Amazon, which tells you people go into it probably thinking one thing, and then
Exactly. This is not a Farrelly Brothers. You know what happens when people shrink down and get caught in funny situations. It is more about life and you know, the thing I'd probably compare it to is if you've ever seen the movie Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks.
Yeah, forever ago. I love that movie. That's a great movie.
I would put it kind of on the same wavelength as that, the same kind of feeling as that. As weird as that is.
I'm looking at so Rotten Tomatoes was not friendly to this. It got 49%. The audience rating was even worse. It's like 28. That either tells me that it's either just straight up bad, or like you say, there's an expectation break happening.
It was, I mean, it was poorly marketed to be something that it wasn't. I think the previews, for the most part, show you stuff that happens in the first half of the film, and there's a pretty dramatic shift that happens about halfway through. Christoph Waltz, I think, is one of the best things. No, I take that back. Second best thing in this. He's really, really good. But it's Hung Chow who plays this Vietnamese political activist that meets up with Matt Damon and Christoph Waltz, and she steals every scene that she's in. She's really, really good.
Does Christoph Waltz does he go full accent in this, or is he hiding it?
He goes full accent. No, he goes full accent.
I love his full accent.
Yes.
See, when I saw the previews, I'm like, I immediately went dark because I'm like, okay, because they try to convince you to do this. They're like, this is how much money you have now. This is how much money you'll have after you do the shrinking.
Right.
And like everything is better. But I'm like, but what about the people that stay big? They can just squish you. You know, like there's some dark, like authoritarian stuff that could happen.
And you know what? It's funny because for the second half of the film, you're only really involved with the shrunken people. You're not seeing, like, basically people. Once, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that once Matt Damon is shrunk down, there's really very little involvement at all with big people. You see him here and there on planes and trains and stuff, and but other than that, I mean, it's a real focus on not the problems of shrunken people, but other problems that kind of get treated differently when you're the size you are.
Would you compare it to like Black Mirror or something? Like that's the vibe I'm getting, is there's kind of a Black Mirror quality to it. You know?
No, because it still kind of has an uplifting message. It's not like a hey, how look how tech is really cool, but oh, by the way, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
which is kind of the Black Mirror storyline.
Interesting.
Everybody's dead at the end.
Right, exactly. No, it's got more of an uplifting feeling to it. I mean, I think the like I said, the Defending Your Life is probably the film I'd compare it to most. I'm not at all bummed that I didn't see this in theaters. I feel like seeing it as part of my Amazon Prime subscription was really good. That said, I still really enjoyed it.
I want Christoph Waltz to walk around going, Django, come with me, Django. That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, you got Margot Martindale is in this.
Oh, I love her. These are great actors.
You won't see her for very long. It's a very brief cameo appearance, but it's really good.
She drank the wrong bottle, Raylan. She killed herself.
It was in the glass the whole time.
All right. Well, sounds like a fine time. I'll take your recommendation.
It's a fine time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check it out. I'm fascinated by tiny things and things getting shrunk. So it's kind of for me anyway, because I like that kind of thing. Even if it's a bad movie, I'm into the ideas of those sorts of things. So I'll have to check it out. Well, that's a big cast. Look at all these people. All right.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to mine.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger.
All right. Well, I'm going to play mine. It's a documentary. It's on Netflix, and I enjoyed it greatly. Actually, I think I may have seen it twice back when it first came out in 2009, and then again here on Netflix. But I'd forgotten a lot of it, so it was like watching it new. And you'll figure it out right away. Here you go.
I don't think anybody had the slightest interest in each other as people.
Graham was a mystery. Yes, I did a lot of drinking, a very great deal indeed, Michael, yes.
Terry cared about everything. It didn't matter how tiny the detail. He really felt.
I kept telling John, you're a freak. Relax.
Michael Palin, yes, he's the sort of kind of forgotten man of the group, really.
I think Terry can only operate in opposition. He has to have an enemy.
Eric is the most astute financially.
Good evening and welcome to the Money Program.
All right. So it's obviously Monty Python.
I think that was not. I think that was not Patrick in there for a minute.
It might have been, yeah. It is. It's a Monty Python documentary, and it's called "Almost the Truth." Or no, the truth. No, it's "Almost the Truth." The Lawyer's Cut. Okay.
Okay.
It's a series, so it's multiple episodes. I want to say it's 6 or something. I love it. It came out in 2009, so it's been a while. It came out at a time when it was, I guess, 40 years since Monty Python hit the scene. So now we're up to almost 50 years since Monty Python hit the scene. But I want to say it aired a few places. Here in the States, I think PBS. I think it was actually a British production. I'm not 100% sure on that. But all this really great archive footage, stuff you've never seen before, them on sets of movies, discussing their actual relationships, when they had falling outs, when they came back together, what big deals it was to nail what they nailed in Life of Brian, and why Life of Brian ended up being a huge hit was mostly because it had so much opposition, especially here in the States. People were like, what's the word? It's blasphemy, and then all that did was sell tickets. Like, it was ridiculous.
Sure, of course.
So anyway, they talk about all that. They talk about where they're at now, like what they're doing now, cool projects they're up to. It's really good. If you are a Python fan and you just want to get as much stuff as you can, this is kind of definitive. My only complaint is it has an intro that is not them. It's some guy pretending to do like a Python-esque intro. And it sucks. It's not good. It's never good, and you just can skip it. Just skip the intro while you're in Netflix because it's overly long and sucks. It does have what's her name? You know how can't think of her name, but she sings the Life of Brian theme. Brian, Life of it's like very James Bond. I can't think of her name, but you know who I mean. Anyway,
yes,
she redoes the theme for this in that style, and that's pretty cool. But once you've seen it once, just skip that damn intro. It's just too long.
Shirley Bassey, right?
Shirley Bassey, that's it.
Yeah.
Goldfinger. That's the one. That's the lady. Anyway, it's good, and you'll not regret it. So go check it out. Again, that is Monty Python, Almost the Truth, The Lawyer's Cut. Nicole, it's your turn now.
Yes.
Very cool.
Well, I already sent you. Asked me to send you my clip. So
where did you send it? Email?
Early. Text.
Oh, text. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
You texted me.
Yeah, no, I guess I wasn't. I was thinking, hey, this would be a good idea, and then I forgot to do it. Oh, look at you seeing the thing that we've been talking about. Okay, sorry. I'm going to play it, and we'll see what everyone thinks. Here you go.
And only play to second from the beginning to 48.
Okay, you got it.
Stop it after 48 seconds.
People are so easily distracted. So I'm the distractor with a little story. People can't get enough of them because, well, they connect the stories to themselves, I suppose. And we all love hearing about ourselves. So long as the people in the stories are us, but not us.
All right.
There you go. Got it, Brian?
Yeah.
I got it. I've watched it, and we just talked about
yeah,
this.
we've been talking about it all week.
Monday morning,
Oh,
or no?
I missed it. Why are you recommending stuff without me?
Well, we didn't really recommend it. We just were like, I mean, it's a Coen Brothers movie, which means that no matter where it is and where it's showing, I'm there day one and I have to see it.
Yeah.
And also, this has been on my radar for ages, and then it was so good that that's all we could talk about. So it was less of a recommendal and more of a.
I watched it last night. Yeah. So for those who are going, what the hell are they talking about? This is called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It's on Netflix. Can I just say Netflix is killing it with
They are killing it.
Movie.
They're killing it right now.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
The cast. So it's how many stories is it? 6 or 7?
6 total.
So originally when this was announced, people thought this was going to be like a TV show, but it's always been planned as a movie. In fact, all the actors that are in this movie, even though they might only be in one part of a story, they read the whole script. So it was presented to them as a movie.
Right. Did you notice did you see Dudley Dursley in this thing? Just curious if you noticed who that was.
Dudley Dursley.
The kid who played Dudley Dursley in the in the Harry Potter
Harry
movies.
Potter films.
He's in this?
Yeah, he's your I don't want to give too much away for the chat, but it's let's just say he's missing some limbs.
Oh, that was him? That was him at the beginning?
Yeah,
At the beginning, right?
Well, no,
Right,
no.
That's the beginning.
The one with
hanging out with Liam Neeson. Hanging out with Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
Holy
the Liam
moly,
Neeson
that
one.
was him.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that was Liam Neeson?
What? Liam Neeson?
Oh my gosh. And I loved the okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what I thought I was going to watch, and then I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
So kind of like you were saying with downsizing, I was thinking it was gonna be, because I have memories of Dapper Dan.
Oh yeah. Oh Brother Where Art
Brother
Thou?
Where Art Thou? Sure.
And so the main guy, Buster Scruggs, was in that, and he's been attached to this project, I read, since 2002.
Yes.
So they have been writing these short stories for years and just putting them in a drawer, basically, because I didn't know what to do with them.
Right.
And so I thought he was going to, I knew it was going to be an anthology, and I thought he was going to be like my narrator throughout the whole thing.
Sure.
But he's not. He's in the first story, and that's it.
Yep.
And then you are taken through the rest of the stories via book. Like, oh, we're starting a new part of this film. I will say it is, like you said, it's totally a Coen Brothers. There's times where I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, that was it? What? Okay, I get it.
Yep.
I know who made this.
Doing what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, and to even further underline your point, like as you're watching this, you're still probably thinking this is one thing, and it turns into something completely different, right? Like it's like, oh, okay, now I think I know what this is going to be. Oh no, it's totally a different thing when you get to the next.
Yeah, especially Wagon Train, because you go, oh, this is about the girl and her brother. Nope, it's about a girl and this guy wants to help her out. Nope, the whole time it was about Mr. Arthur.
It's about President Pierce. That's what it's about.
It's always about President Pierce.
It's the story of President Pierce.
And then the James Franco story. Just
pan shot.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I love that one. I loved them all. I loved the whole thing. I'm ready to watch it a third time. Like, I watched it again. I've seen it twice now. I'm ready for more. I love that. I love that thing. Love it.
Yeah, there you go. There's an official recommendation. Like I said, don't go in think what is it? Old Country?
No country for old men. Yeah, Old Country for no men.
For new men. Country for new men.
Which, by the way, is also on Netflix, and I just watched this week again for, like, I don't know, the 100th time, because I love that movie.
Really?
I just got in this Coen Brothers mood, and I was like, I'm going to go do some more. And that movie is so good. It is one of the best crafted things ever made in the history of ever.
I didn't like that.
Oh, you're insane. It's so good.
Yeah. But again, it might be because I expect movies to have a bow at the end. I've been conditioned for that, and they challenge you, and I love that. I mean, and I probably should watch it again with a different mindset, because had I not seen that, I probably wouldn't have been so forgiving about the Buster Scruggs one, too, because there's a lot of unsatisfying endings in that.
The whole thing, I think the entire thing it's 6 endings that are either shocking, harsh, or otherwise, like, okay, you guys are doing your own thing, aren't you? You're not following you're not following the template here, and that's what I love about those guys. What I love about Fargo. It's what I love about Blood Simple. Miller's Crossing is another great example. Like, so many. Oh, you just make me want to go watch every Coen Brothers movie ever. There's something about them. Just can't get enough of it.
Yeah. So I've over the years I've warmed up to their style, and I did enjoy the Buster Scruggs.
You should go try to watch Old Country for Old Men. You should try it again and kind of know what you're getting into. I think after seeing the Buster Scruggs thing, it might actually sit better with you, because
that's what I was thinking.
It's similar vibe to it in terms of, like, nothing good happens to nobody, really.
So they have 4 other movies streaming on Netflix. Burn After Reading, which I've never seen.
Good movie.
I don't know why.
It's all good. Yeah.
A Serious Man, No Country for Old Men, which I have seen, which I really should probably rewatch, and Gambit.
Gambit.
What's Gambit?
What is Gambit?
Well, it ain't the Channing Tatum.
It's Cameron Diaz and Colin Firth.
I have no idea what Gambit is.
It says seeking revenge on his abusive boss, a London art curator conspires with an eccentric Texas rodeo queen to sell the wealthy man a fake Monet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you got Alan Rickman and Stanley Tucci in here.
Well, this sounds like a great little thing. I'll have to check it out. By the way, Bagheera in the chat says, no one ever mentions Hudsucker Proxy. No. That is one of my top movies of all time. I love Hudsucker Proxy. Are you kidding?
Muncie Girl. Huh?
Yeah, Muncie Girl. Oh, my gosh. That's so good. It's so good. I'm going to go watch that movie. I consider it kind of a Christmas movie because of all the New York and snow stuff that happens in it. So I'm going to watch it this year. I'm going to find that thing.
It's certainly a New Year's Eve movie because I think the climax takes place behind the big clock on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we can call it a holiday movie. We can do whatever we want.
For sure.
We're in charge here. This is our segment.
Say some fighting words. If you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, sure, you can consider that one a Christmas movie.
Well, it's got some music in it.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
And
no one will ever convince me otherwise.
Brian, it's Brian's favorite Christmas movie. He said so on the air a couple times.
It absolutely is.
My favorite Christmas movie is also Die Hard. Nicole, have a fantastic day. Oh, is there anything else you want to mention? Are you all good?
You said Christmas movie, and I was going to ask you if you've watched the Christmas Chronicles yet with Ego.
Not yet. I want to.
With Ego. Not going to say Snake Plissken?
Yeah. He that looks interesting to me. Is it actually good?
I started watching it. It's kind of. I mean,
so for kids,
like who's it? It's a family film.
Okay.
But it's kind of Hallmarky, so Christmas shoesy acting a little bit.
Christmas
but it looks
shoesy.
Cute, so, I don't know.
I like that description.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I totally do. I actually finally got to see Bad Santa for the first time. I've not seen 2. I think Bad Santa's great, by the way.
It is really good.
Yeah. I think it's very nihilistic and sort of, of course it is, but it's a very good movie. And if you even remotely like Billy Bob Thornton, that's one to watch. This is what we should do next week. We should
do you want to pick a Christmas?
We should do a theme just for next week where we pick a Christmas streaming Christmas thing.
All right.
Movie, show, whatever. Even
I'll
episode,
finish the Christmas
whatever.
Chronicles and tell you if it's any good.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down with it. Snake Plissken coming back, everybody. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you then. Oh, follow her on I didn't mean to hang up so quick. Follow her on Nicole Spag on Twitter, and she'll tell you all the stuff we recommended today, if you would like to see those things. Okay. All right. Hey.
Okay.
How about this, Brian? We're gonna just get out of here with a couple of emails. We got one from Steve in North Carolina.
All right.
That's
Steve.
That's the good Carolina.
the better of the Carolinas.
I mean,
the lesser.
No offense, you guys. I just, whatever. I have this stereotype.
Preparing
I'm sticking
for
with it.
a message from Brian Dunaway.
Yeah, it's fine. He says this. Steve says, hot tub jets on or off? Asking for a friend.
On.
On.
Because otherwise you're sitting in a bath.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a big plastic bathtub.
Yeah, on. If you have a hot tub, especially, that's the reason it exists. Otherwise, it's just hot water. Who cares? You need the bubbles. You need the
You don't necessarily need to put your back up against one of those jets, but have the jets going.
Right.
Otherwise, you're sadly sitting there looking at your feet.
I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't want that. But yeah, so Steve, there's your answer. Although I don't know how many hot tubs you have in North Carolina. Final email comes from Wayne, who says this. Hey, Scott and Brian, long time no see. I just finished listening to Monday's episode, and I'd like to add Applebee's Neighborhood Nachos to the list of fine nachos providing establishments. I know it's Applebee's, but they've redone their menu, and their nachos are so good. If you guys could give a shout out to my future dog, Satchel, I'm sure my wife would love it. Shout out to Satchel! Woo!
A shout out to my future dog, Satchel, for my wife.
Yeah, it's a weird request, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe we just got a shout out to your wife.
Yeah, it's very odd. I'm also very skeptical, chat room, of Applebee's. They've not treated me well in the years past, and the one that we just had is now gone. So I don't even know where the next closest one would be. But I wouldn't turn down trying it. Like I'm kind of doing best burger in town right now, but with nachos. So I'm up for anything. Yeah, I
think Applebee's even has a fresh fit menu or something like that, where they even tell you the equivalents in Weight Watchers points. So I might have to check that out.
This is how you know Brian is committed, because all food discussion is viewed through his filter of he's sticking to his plan, and I'm impressed by that. I am on what's the word? I guess I've already said it. Impressed. I'm impressed by your commitment because it takes a lot to do that. So Brian's seeing everything through the filter of, hey, what's this in points? You got to. Yeah.
You just gotta. Down 18 pounds since I started, and I got my weigh-in day after tomorrow, and I want to make sure I want AJ to be happy with me when I go in for my weigh-in.
18. That's great.
18. I'm gonna be half the man. I'm gonna be half the man I was when you see me in Vegas. Hoo-ah!
All right. Well, there's that. Also, Coverville today. Tell us about what's happening.
That's right. Ozzy Osbourne is turning 70 years old. So we got to do an Ozzy Osbourne show.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. So, of course, covers of stuff like Crazy Train, Iron Man, Paranoid, War Pigs, Mr. Crowley, and even a cover by Ozzy Osbourne because he's done so many over the years, and you've got to pull one of his classics. So.
Do you have this one?
Nobody helps him!
I have that song, but I have a better cover of Iron Man that I'm going to be playing.
Iron Man lives again!
Oh,
I got to pick up his new Christmas album. It is, from everything that I've been hearing, is great. It's pure Shatner.
Well, I'm into it. So check that out today, 1 o'clock, right? 1?
That's right.
All right.
Twitch.tv/Coverville for as long as they'll let me.
Yeah.
And Coverville.com/live.
So here's what you do: you just keep an eye on your mute after the VOD's done, and see what they've done to your VOD. That's usually an indicator.
they've been muting parts. It's funny because they mute about a third of the music in the video on demand, the VOD. Is it cool to say VOD? I feel like you're like VOD. it's almost
it should be done, you think, like
a verse thing or a
webinar, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. The VOD.
The VOD. Go check out the VOD.
Like, I don't like hearing when people call podcasts pods for short.
That makes me want to.
I was listening to the latest pod.
I hate it so much, dude. Seriously, have you ever been you just want to kick him in the berries? You're just like, dude, don't call it a pod. One of the kids did that at the thing last night. I'm going to go to your site and check out your pods. I'm like, oh, kid, if you knew the rage you just inspired in me right now, I just want to freak out. But I didn't. I held it in.
You got to do it. You got to hold it in. Most of the Cover-thon was and that's totally fine. If you don't see Coverville live when I air it, just go download the podcast because you'll hear the whole thing. I probably just should turn the VODs off on. I'm just gonna steer into the skid. I should probably just turn the VODs off on my Twitch stream because it's not worth it.
Well, it's you versus the man. Get it?
It's me versus Twitch.
Yeah, you versus.
They're not my bros, that's for sure.
Well, they're definitely not your hoes. All right, we're done. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Patreon.com/TMS is how you can support this madness, and we encourage you to do that. Saw a few upticks in the recent days. I really appreciate that. All the more would be great. It is the holidays, and things need paying for. I can tell you that. So go to patreon.com/TMS. And if you're looking for our Twitter accounts, I don't mention them that often anymore, but I will. Coverville, Scott Johnson, and Morning Stream. All other contact details, ways to get a hold of us, send your feedback, all that stuff found at frogpants.com/TMS. All right. It is now Brian's turn to tell us about a song.
Yes. This one's going out to Jeff. It says, on November 24th, I had to put my 14-year-old dog Son down due to health issues. Would you play a song to remember her? I don't know what would be good, but I trust the cover mayor's judgment. I miss her very much as I just get sniffy when I come home and there's no one to say I'm home to anymore. Thanks, Jeff from Austin, Texas. Dude, having gone through that last year, I can absolutely sympathize. And it's a really tough thing to say, oh, what song is a good one to play to kind of help you grieve in that moment, because there's a lot of songs that mention dogs. I Want to Be Your Dog by Iggy Pop and the Stooges. There's a lot of, the list goes on and on, even though I can't come up with any. Decided to just go with it and give you something that is cheerful and kind of fun and has the word dog in the title. This is a band called the James B. and Deep Lounge Collection. James B. Is this guy who does this really cool sort of 20s, 30s lounge